experiencing, right? Where it's just like I'm working hard, and you know, I want to see the results. I want my wife, like, remember, Lord's is you get the tougher wives, right? And so when you're working that hard and things aren't going necessarily the way you are, and you're reflective. When you reflect as much as some of you do, I mean, it starts to weigh on you a little bit.
I've just been busy with life, vacations and stuff, so I'm doing all right. I have been really trying to step back and focus. Is Andy on here today? No, I talked to Andy yesterday. I've been having some mental issues I've been dealing with as far as like being paralyzed by thoughts that I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. I've never experienced this before. They're almost like panic attacks. And so I had a little call with Andy actually yesterday, and I kind of started listening to a book. I had a trip to Chicago. I met Pete over the weekend, and I started listening to, what the hell that? It's called Masculine in Relationship. But GS.
Yeah, I love that book. Yeah, both of his books. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a little over halfway through one of them, and I don't know. I started doing some of the breathing techniques, and I actually talked to Andy about them yesterday, and it's only been like 2 days, but it is massively better already. And I don't know what it is. It's just, and I've struggled with this for a long time. It's just getting out of my own head. Kim has done nothing different. She's not gone backwards. We've kind of been stagnant, and I think it's me, and me in my own head. Yesterday morning, the night before last, I'm on such a roller coaster. My thoughts are all over the fucking place, and I can't get them out of my head. I can't get back into my body and out of my head. 2 nights ago, I just slept horrible, and I don't know what triggered it, but I just had this overwhelming, like, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks, and I just wanted to run. But then I think of my kids, and I think of Kim, and I think, no.
Well, is this all tied to our conversation a few weeks ago, like where you were, you know, you're starting to get to okay. You were starting to get to a point where, you know, you're ready to start, you know, motivating with boundaries and getting things moving, and then you kind of pulled back after our discussion. You realized there were some things that you wanted to correct, like the love languages. Is that conversation? You remember that one? Is this all tied to what's transpired since?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just reflecting back on everything that's happened, and
so the reason why I asked that is because when you're talking about your kids, so you're having anxiety attacks about leaving, about making a change, about saying this isn't acceptable anymore. Which things do you think?
Yeah. So, in the past week or two, I think the anxiety attacks have come about of just confronting Kim about some of this stuff and having these difficult conversations. And then I kind of freeze and I panic and I don't know what to do.
Well, think about how successful you've become with your communication. You know, you're probably more reacting this way negatively because you're worried about what her reactions are going to be. Correct?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and some of it's second guessing, though. Is that the right move to make at this point? Because I definitely see slivers in her attitude and her demeanor, and it follows mine. And looking back and reflecting the past couple of days, like if I come downstairs in the morning and I'm in a bad attitude for whatever reason, she is too. And then it's a spiral that I know I need to get out of myself before I can pull her out of it too.
Yeah, man, I would do nothing. I would not motivate her with one boundary. The more you have reflections like this and you're seeing and you can look back and realize that you're nowhere near where you want to be. It's not like you'll always control her mood, right?
I know.
But you're definitely leading it well. And if you're noticing stuff like that, the rest will still follow. Yeah. The better communication will follow. More smiles will follow. That anxiety that she's having about the physical intimacy stuff will start to follow. And
it'll fade.
It'll fade, yeah. And so, like, you really, really want to... Then we go back to the patience thing we were talking about. I talked about it with you on that call. We talked about it with Kelly. Like, man, I'd still hold. You know, but you started that call completely different than how we ended that call, right? And now you're getting you're getting really good now at reflecting back on specifics, details that obviously make a difference, right?
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, it's totally... And it's happening faster now, I feel like. Like, after I got off the phone call with you, literally 30 minutes later, that's when my son fell and cut his chin open. And
I remember.
ER and got stitches. Yeah, it was that night. And we had him in the ER again 10 days later because he had fallen at basketball practice, and we thought he broke his arm. And it was just this kind of like, I don't know, it was weird. You know, when your kid's sick and you want to do everything you can to help them, and you come together as parents, and all that other shit just faded away. Yeah. It was like, oh, this is what it can be. So that just helped me kind of realize, and I think she realized it a little bit too. Well, so I've noticed something.
Let me ask you, because didn't she also in the ER see the other family and was like, wow, like, because it was bad, if I remember. It was either really bad or it was really good. It was really bad, I think.
No, it was really bad. Yeah. The girl fell out of the window, and the parents were arguing over whose fault it was. That's right.
Yeah, and so has she reflected more on that or acted differently ever since? That was like that's an aha moment that you get. Luckily, you get to see sometimes, and you can be like, whoa, I can either do things the way that he's leading right now, or I can go back to where it was going, which is this family. Right? Have you noticed anything with that?
She hasn't come to me directly about it, but she left a journal open the other day, and she had written a few things in there, and it was like, she wrote like 4 things down, and she's like, I respect Ryan. It was like 4 statements that I could tell she was like internally thinking about some of this stuff and trying to make some improvements on her own. She didn't come out and say any of this to me.
Well, first of all, don't read her journal. Second of all,
no. Yeah. Well, it was opened up. I didn't even intend it. I was like picking stuff up, and it was sitting there. I saw it, and I was like, oh shit, I put it away because I told her I wasn't going to read her journal. So no, I don't do that anymore. It wasn't a thing I did on purpose. I don't know if she left it out. I don't know, but.
Well, anyways, you know what you know now, and yeah, maybe she's.
I didn't confront her about it. I'm not.
No, don't do that. No, you know what you know now, and like we can't assume, but she could be doing affirmation statements. She could be solidifying things. You know, your wife was early on reflecting how her friends were complaining about their husbands and was realizing she couldn't complain anymore. So if she's doing deeper, like as in, you know, I do respect him. The bottom line is that's what she's putting down. It's no different than us journaling and affirming or giving gratitude or, you know, any of this mindset stuff that we do, right? So you know what you know now, and we don't know what that means actually. So we just keep moving.
No, I don't.
Right?
Yeah. So, but I came down. So after that night that I had all this crap over me and I couldn't sleep, she was actually sleeping downstairs. I came down in the morning. I usually get the kids' lunches ready, and she came up to me and she said, why don't you take the dog for a walk? I'll get the kids' lunch ready, which she doesn't generally do. So I said, okay. I took the dog for a walk, and I came back, and I came in the house, and she said, your mood's better already. I can sense it. Do you think it's better? And I said, and I just acknowledged her, and I said, I think it's a little better. I said, it's not where I want it to be, but it's a little better. So I didn't say anything to her. She just knew instantly, like something was off.
I'd say that's massive. That's massive.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The closer that you become partners, not over, you know, responsibilities, but over empathy about mood, about how somebody's feeling or the other one's feeling, like you're working together. That is true partnership coming out, right?
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, if you recall, it started like she'd say to you, hey, I got the kids right now. She could see they were aggravating you, for example, right? But now she's just stepping in and helping or getting involved where she can use her strengths and carry you. That's what partnership starts to be, right?
Yep.
So that's massive, man.
So I'm looking forward to this book and applying some of Jeff's stuff because it really resonates with me. And I talked to Andy about it yesterday. And so it's early on, but I think if I can control my nervous system, because yesterday afternoon I had I don't know, man, my heart was shaky. I felt like I had massive amount of caffeine in me and I just couldn't get the fuck calmed down. But I got it. When I got home, things turned around and this morning was way better. So it's a roller coaster I got to try to get off of.
Yeah, keep pushing the right direction. That's I think that definitely it's going to be stemming from, you know, the fear of where is this going, which is just tied down to anxiety will go away when you just start, just like Kelly, just relax with the patients, you know, it's just understand that that's what I got to do. You know, I got to be more patient. Yeah. And yeah, do the work on the anxiety. You're going to find it's freeing. You never had the same level of anxiety that I talk about, but now.
Well, I didn't know. I would have said, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, I said, I don't have anxiety. Like, Jesus Christ, yes, I do. I just didn't realize it. I think it's just manifesting different now. But.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a lot like what Kelly's experiencing, right? Where it's just like I'm working hard, and you know, I want to see the results. I want my wife. Like, remember, Lord's is you get the tougher wives, right? And so when you're working that hard and things aren't going necessarily the way you are, and you're reflective. When you reflect as much as some of you do, I mean, it starts to weigh on you a little bit, right? It was not all smooth sailing with my anxiety, controlling the anger, controlling the insecurities, and all that stuff either, right? You just get better at it. So I think you said it perfectly. You're just manifesting it a little bit differently now, right? Mm-hmm.